The institute comes with a caveat that yes, they'll pay half the salary, but you have to raise at least $200,000 a year in grant money. And of course, not to go into that in too much detail, but you can imagine that, say someone comes in as a tenured faculty, they get that, they raise 200,000. Suddenly, like they say, this government initiative from the new administration comes in, grants are cut, there's no research funding, and then who knows what happens. The interdisciplinary is problematic because if you publish in another discipline and suddenly, the tenure track process becomes hugely problematic as well. So the evergreen lines are sort of hanging out. We do love the evergreen lines. They are my favorite to work really hard for. Gary's laughing because he knows Paul's listening the other side of the door. Is that what we can do is we're going to try and then wrap the evergreen line at a rank that has yet to be determined. I've tried to talk Paul into having assistant professors, but that's kind of an interesting game we're playing at the moment. It's like tango, two steps forward, one step back. So, but to wrap that in with some other lines around the clinical line and assistant professor line, and to try and grow everything as a group. Like if we can bring in a whole group of people interested in AI, that would be, I think, the initiative for the fall. So assistant professor, potentially a senior tenured faculty, clinical assistant professor, and then that's sort of the hiring process. We still have a lecturer position on the table that we're hiring for. We haven't had much success in hiring at that level. People are either not applying or I don't know what's going on. Maybe Northeastern, FIU, Vanderbilt, Barry, Nova.
Maybe they can be
also on Bentley, Babson. So if you hear of any talented person, let me know.
Robert, a quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Regarding the clinical assistants, right? Are we allowed to promote internally from our, say, lectures or senior lectures to clinical tracks?
Yes.
Is that a route that you are planning to say, make some progress? Or?
Yeah, so regarding promotion, I haven't got to the promotion bit yet, but yes, I'm going to meet with the regular faculty, the senior faculty, the tenured faculty, whatever you want to call ourselves, to discuss promotion at the lecturer level to senior lecturer, and then as the rest of the semester goes through, talk about potentially what we can do to move someone, or have an opportunity to have someone move into that clinical assistant professor. They'd obviously have to apply. But also as part of the communication with Paul, I am talking to people from outside the school who are interested, as you know, which is confidential, to cross over from another school. But I don't want to go into that because it's a confidential thing. I think putting a package together will keep Paul happy, and we'll build a group. So if we bring in a senior full professor for Paul, and then we do that and vote on that on condition we get some assistant professor, and then that assistant professor can work with a clinical person, probably in spring 26, then that would be a better deal, and then promote internally lecturers to senior lecturers and so on. Of course, Michael is still up for promotion. That hasn't come through yet. We hope that comes through. Nina is obviously coming for full professor. That hasn't come through yet, and I haven't heard any news on that front.
Robert, could you go back? You said you were looking for a lecture for what topic?
Any topic.
Anything?
Well, we would. Okay. The scheduling the faculty to teach undergraduate courses is predominantly my area that I spend my entire life doing until the week before it runs usually. So happen around the MS in BTE. He's not, of course, it comes from the department. The advocation can come from the dean's office, but it always comes from the chair and the department that the MS in BTE becomes transformed slightly into MS in BTE with AI. So we will be creating more courses around AI at the graduate level. We've got some on the books, but I still need people to teach them. And that's always the challenge. And then creating the pipeline into classes. It's no good having them on the books if nobody takes them. And then I've got to get people, especially my tenured friends, to commit to teaching undergraduates for 15 weeks. And that's also something that we would like. We need faculty to buy into. Getting lecturers to teach, or finding lecturers from the outside who want to apply to come and teach AI courses is somewhat of a challenge. But if you know, or you want to have a conversation about that, I'm happy to.
No, I was just curious. I just wanted to know.
It's not 150 to 120, typically 210. We have got an extra section of 210 for the IDE students, the innovation, design, and technology students. That was the provost, Jeff Jones' initiative from 2 provosts ago. That's still evolving. They want their own section. So instead of giving them a special 150, I put them into a special section of 150. I'm going to put them into your 150 or a 150 rather than create a separate course, which is what they originally wanted for their own students. I think that program is going to evolve. I think Linda Nider and the management are going to take it under their umbrella, so that will continue. We're now kind of getting onto curriculum development processes in the sense of rather than the faculty. Linda and the management department is expanding rapidly in the innovation space. So Zahir Dosa, who used to be with us, is now with management. He's now clinical assistant professor in the management department of practice. He's running the innovation group. That's going to also involve increased participation by our department. Either he or Mariana Macri will teach BT 360, which is the innovation design class. So we will be working more closely with management, I think, in the future along these topics. Like we do with other departments. Neum teaches. Oh, I should announce, Neum, we should announce your spectacular third position. Yeah, he's a man of many departments now. He got a... Neum, are you there? I don't know if you probably...
Yes, I'm here.
But do you just want to speak about your just a minute on your new I'll let you announce it. Your new I couldn't call it a secondary appointment. It's a tertiary appointment, a tertiary appointment.
No, thank you. I just got an appointment with the Health Informatics and Data Sciences Department at the Miller School of Medicine.
And
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What would you say their mission is? You know them better than I do.
To educate medical students about health informatics.
Yeah,
basically.
Did we grow out of the old telematics group, I think? So that's great. I think we'll have closer alignment with them. I think that's going to be good for us as Neum can be leading the way on that. Okay, so adjunct faculty, which are actually called part-time lecturers, we've got a good stock of people who are willing to teach for us in that space, so that's great. So thank you for introducing me to those folks, and that's good. So on the hiring front, that's where we're at. There is a hiring freeze going to happen, I think, at the institution. That's what we've been told by the dean and the provost. It hasn't been enacted yet, but that comes down from the overhead problems that the university has encountered. Summer's, where are we? Okay, summer schedule is kind of out there. I'm not quite, right? So some people have put in for it. That's always done by continuing ed, so we'll see what happens there. That's underway. Fall schedule for 25. Thanks so much for your Chris ARush to give me that. As you know,
And we are already, Priscilla and I agree on this.
yeah, you did all that. That's great. I pushed a lot of that out to the faculty to self-organize amongst you groups. We're up to like, I don't know, probably 100 classes now in the department. So it's become more and more complicated. I will be talking to individuals. I spoke to Angelica, Nina, at the graduate. I haven't spoken to Robert so much yet. I spoke a bit to Ola today to help organise a graduate. So I'll be working around the group over the next week to try and bring that into alignment. The undergraduate teaching is pretty much penciled in, although there will be changes as always. Don't worry, Jerry, not for you.
We gotta put a disclaimer.
150 is pretty always solid. 210 floats around based upon whatever requirements. Then the rest of the schedule works its way in. We do have some great innovation coming in the fall. We've got the AI coding class, coding with AI class that's going to come in, which could eventually, I think, take a lot stronger line in 320, the coding space. I'm teaching an experimental coding with Python through AI in my 210 class. So it's everything you ever wanted to know to be able to code. Everyone's like, oh my god. In a week. So I want to try and get them to sequence selection, iteration, objects, understand typing, different kinds of things through machine learning. Yes. Yeah. But then they're gonna. I've got a little series of exercises. It's like the Chinese room problem. We're pushing in questions. GPS creates the code. That comes out the other side. The students won't know what the code actually means until something doesn't work. And I go, I just changed the objects. So we'll see. But anyway, that's an experiment. I shared that with Michael and Niam. If you want to see it, anybody else, I just don't want to overload you with that. That's cool. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that section runs. I get a feeling in another semester, if it runs well, we'll complement that. We'll talk to Eros and bring people on. Okay, so spring 26. Sounds like a space movie. The reason why I have started it in my head and on my paper, but not actually talking to people because it's insane. We've got a huge problem, which I don't really want to get into at the chairs level, around overload pay and what counts as overload. And if you are down for courses and you teach them in the fall semester, and then you teach some more classes in the spring semester, and you taught 2 credit classes, and you think that you're going to get paid for them, suddenly you don't get paid for them.
You need to do an Excel spreadsheet for that.
Yeah, because, well, the problem is we don't know what people are going to teach until the spring semester, right? Because a course might come online and then suddenly they look for a course that's cheaper to pay you. This is all going to get resolved. It's not any of your problems. It's my problem. But the real reason I'm telling you about this is that the spring schedule, I will be talking to people about what they want, just as I get a feeling for what everybody wants. It doesn't really affect the lecturers so much as things like the PhD program and so on. So things are going well. Don't worry. I'm just giving you a bit of background, maybe too much. Michael, it's the faculty issues too. So with the candidate that we were going to bring in for assistant professor of practice not coming over the line, I think it was kind of an interesting thing. It made me reflect on where we're going and who we are, and also the promotion from within, which Kevin just raised, was that we have some, obviously, people with amazing strengths in the department. And so what I thought would be great was to ask Michael to come and work with me in the AI lab, because that's a big gap, right? So I can't people who want to donate money, I can't trying to develop all the programs and the websites
Hello?
and all of these things all the time. So
Yes.
Michael's going to come over and be assistant director of the
I hope
lab,
to.
and
Tomorrow or
he's going to
Sunday.
relinquish his
Tomorrow or Sunday, I have to see. Why? What would you like? I know, but either I'm coming tomorrow or Sunday.
Academic director of
Yeah.
MS in DTE. Alex has agreed to take over that role, which aligns with his interests, his experience working as a consultant. He's also got nothing else to do now because he's almost
okay. I got okay. I'll ask, but okay, because I thought I had her number. I have her. I had. If this is the same, I had her number.
And also, Alex, we should congratulate him. He won.
She didn't, right? But the thing is, I think they. Just so you know, I got something from Hawkeye. It looks like they repaired the air conditioner. They just have to look at the. They just have to pay for the ceiling. The ceiling. You're right. Right.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, great. I'll pay for the lunch. That'll be bagels all round. Alex is going to run that. He's going to run the capstone class and generally help recruit. So that's going to be fantastic.
I'll text you the number I have unless you change the number. You know, I'll text you the number.
Great things, even better, even
and then you can contact me. But I just want to make, because she may say, hey, it's fixed, it's not leaking. It was leaking, you know what I'm saying?
It's great.
But they fix it. Yeah, but you know how it is all the time. So all I wanted it, and I sent her, and I put a note in that management too, that let them know. You understand? And then I have a video of it leaking, you know, but they fixed the leak. No, but they fixed the leak. You know what I mean? It's just the ceiling. Yeah.
So we do need a pipeline of students to go from one to the other. So we need to do a bit of, raising the bar. I don't know, maybe you want to come over and teach some of the AI classes, help us develop,
it's always
it's
the
same
fun.
It's got to be interesting.
it's the plumbing too. You know what I mean? I appreciate that you take. You know what I mean? That we're working together. And you know what I mean? If it doesn't work this week, next week, you know what I mean? Step by step. And then I'll look on the weekend. I'll look and see, what it.
So I'll come around and have a discussion about that with people. So the AI major, I think, will be exciting. I don't know how long that will take.
No, you know what I mean? And I'm going to check on 209 and see what the issue is on 209 to fix 209. You know, that it's not leaking. And it's going to the garage, right?
So that's
good. The idea. Right, so we'll work it out, we'll fix it. It's not like we're neglecting it, just this is the first time I heard about it today. And it's the first time you heard about it too, right? Yeah, you understand? Right. And it's true. But we'll work together, don't worry about it. Let's be positive, and that's it. You know what I mean? But anytime, take it in stride, you know what I mean? You understand, you don't want to burn out. Yes, okay. And I appreciate it. And have a good weekend, and we'll try to take out and we'll try to look at it on the weekend. Okay, ciao.
Five. Well, five, okay, that's not many. Hopefully we can get more students.
You're on it, Kevin. You're on the committee.
What committee? I'm not teaching the program. So I'm just curious.
You stand on US 1 with a little sign saying mattresses on the one side, PG on the other. Well, I thought we had 8 students.
Yeah, we have, 5, it depends. If you have a part-time, so it's not fully representative how many you have in your class. Altogether it's 7, isn't it? 7.
Yeah, so it's divided into full-time and part-time.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the part-times are only allowed to take one course.
Yeah, so
that's why
it might
we're not
differ
showing
between the courses.
Progress on
But of course, it's as Kevin says, this is, this is it. We need to recruit for much higher than that.
Why are part-time only allowed to take one class?
That's part-time.
No, they were full-time.
Yeah.
It's 2 classes because it's like 4 classes in a semester. It's 4 classes in a semester. It's 2 classes in the first part of the semester, 2 classes in the second part of the semester.
Yeah, the purpose with having a part-time program in the first place is just to offer that's a marketing thing.
Yeah.
To make it, since many are professionals, it's about finding a way to navigate through the program eventually they will take all courses. It's just that you can finish the program.
So take one at a time.
Yeah, you can do it in 12 months or 24 months. 24 months is part-time.
And can they switch between programs if they lose their job?
What do you mean?
Like if they wanted to go full-time?
Yeah, they can switch any time. It's just that we don't market it.
What I didn't like from my conversation with them is like they are telling the student what course they have to be enrolled, and they don't let them pick which of the two being offered simultaneously they could take. And I had that conversation many times with the administration, and they told me, I'm sorry, for scheduling purposes, we're dictating what course they enroll to, and we don't let them choose.
Well, it's partly because you cannot take the AI course with EM, and secondly, if you take Python.
But that's the only one that is a prerequisite of the other one, right? The other ones are not that.
Well, these are once we've got 25 students,
when they say administration, that is the team of ARush and Commutator, I assume. Yeah. That's part of the program. Yeah, hi Chris.
Oh, hey Chris.
Hi.
This is face to face or
It's online.
the online, but asynchronous or synchronous? Asynchronous, asynchronous, yeah.
Both.
It's both. So in a way you have to be.
we're going to try and build it. Alex is going to work hard on that. We'll now be a little more.
We have a little more time now. So,
It's very rushed.
The recruitment window was extremely short for the spring semester. It's a new program. There are many excuses.
Okay.
Enough of excuses now. We just need to do it.
All right. Thanks, Ola. When's the next intake then? In the fall.
And there are 4 already set for the fall.
Oh, yeah. So that's a very good. So this is also the opportunity to say that Michael has done a tremendous work. So far it's a little. So in a sense, it's sad leaving now when he's getting into the job. But I hope that Alex can do just start. Yeah,
we're all in it together. Yeah. Kevin, you want to give an update on the PhD program? Is there an update? We're not taking it.
You want? So I don't think we're recruiting this year, right? But there is one caveat. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about it, but Ola, feel free to share it.
But in the fall we might though, right?
It's not this cycle, but it will be like next cycle. I would assume next cycle we will have lines. But this cycle, the 2024 cycle, what's it, 2024 cycle, there are no lines.
Yeah, they always start in the fall, so the deadline is in December.
Yeah.
So we have applicants.
But we'll
don't have one.
In the fall we'll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all I care about.
For the
fall.
December intake.
Okay, so for the December intake we'll have lines, right? We'll have 2 students.
Yes. And don't be surprised, we do have a student in this fall, but that's not something that's finalized. So I'm not
No,
sure.
that's fine. I just yeah. It's very exciting and I'm very enthusiastic about having a bigger doctoral program. So yeah, I'm just trying to get everybody to understand that we're trying to hire faculty and have supporting doctoral students coming in to keep the pipeline of the doctoral program moving forward. I think that's great.
So Robert, I will mention a little bit the school level developments, right? Hopefully, if there's no sort of funding cuts, the goal is to expand the entire program. We've developed something called a dual mandate for the PhD program, and then basically every area wants more students. That's just there's no way around that, right? But there is a competition that every area will compete for those resources. Research active faculty, and also there is 2 aspects of faculty-student collaboration, publications, and the placements. That's something I think, especially for the first couple of years, is very important to place the students at Paul wants them to be AAU institutions. There is a separate list that's Research 1, R1, or equivalent schools around the world. But those are the schools that we're targeting students for.
Yes, that's great. Okay, I'm very enthusiastic for that. I do actually have my own news about this is very personal. Merlin wants to thank everybody for their help. Merlin got accepted into the computer science PhD or DPhil program at Oxford.
Oh,
Congratulations. Thanks to everybody in the room. Michael wrote letters. Thanks to everybody who's taught him, raised him as my child. He's not my child, he's our child. That's how I like to differentiate. He slept on the floor since he's the eye to a grasshopper, and you guys in all ways have influenced him. So thanks so much. I'm sure he'll be back asking you even more questions on how to do crazy machine learning Python from Eros, or writing papers with Robert or Liam or Kevin or Nina. The database class, he loved his database class, so Nina's there. Thanks so much. He did the advanced database class recently, and that was great. So thanks so much, everyone. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think the PhD program, actually, we just had a great speaker. For those of you who were at the guest speaker, which I have to thank Robert for bringing in. You know, he's like, oh, we'd love your doctoral students. We want to hire, we would hire your doctoral students. Don't tell them that. But it was so that he was like enthusiastic about how far we've come. And even though they're only first years and second years, the impression that they were giving off, thanks to everybody's help, was radiant, I think, the way in their intellect and their drive, and it's fantastic. So
that's something to work on, because Notre Dame is, of course,
yeah. So we could maybe take them for a visit or do things or a little. Maybe we could have a workshop for doctoral students. We are going to go to ISIS in Nashville this December. And we're going to have a tent or whatever we're going to have there, and I don't know, and we're going to have maybe hold a doctoral workshop, faculty reception, and so that'll be fun. We can dress up in cowboy boots, and Michael's going to sing Cuban karaoke. But I think that'll be a great way to promote the department, hire people. Maybe we can get our doctoral students. I'll pay for them to go. Oh, by the way, and I want to thank everybody in the room. We got $40,000 from Biz2X, who was a conference for FinTech. They made me pay out of the $40,000 for a reception for the finance students, which was $8,100 for a drinks reception, which I wasn't too thrilled about, but it was kind of a push-pull kind of thing. So we did get $30,000 out of them, which will help fund travel and resources for the department. So yes, if I can keep the doctoral students, maybe take them to ISIS with us or something like that, that would be great. And if you do go to a conference, I know you went to a couple of conferences, or your students went, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should also praise you guys for your work with the undergraduates who published flares and in IEEE.
Yeah, we're also now working on a journal paper. Hopefully by the end of the semester.
That's fantastic. So yeah, whatever I can do to support that would be more than happy. And thank you too for bringing Caroline.
Well, that was pretty
from Germany. Yeah, she's fantastic. Clarissa. Yeah. So she's great. I mean, this vibrance we get from visiting students, especially the young ones that we've had, Maria and all of them over the years, has been fantastic. So if you do know any students or anybody who'd like to come and spend some time with us, I think it's great. I think it really keeps us on our toes and fresh. Angelica is not here, but I'm sure she would be more than happy to promote the DBA. They're having open sessions for the DBA, which we haven't actually, I don't know, we haven't got involved with as a department yet. I don't know if anybody has talked to her about teaching in that program.
I did. Yeah, I did, Robert. I mentioned to her that since I've just went through 4 years of work DBA, and she was very, very excited to help me get involved. So I'm just waiting for us to get some formal start to that.
Yeah, that's great. If the teaching is still done through the chair, as I mentioned to her, in order to make sure that people can not be overlooked.
Isn't she looking primarily at supervisors and then the teaching is
There's teaching and supervisors, yeah. So there's two dynamics to that. Yeah, so that's great. I don't know, sign up for the program, get a second doctorate. That would be.
Do we get tuition remission?
Tuition remission. Is it seminar based?
We don't get tuition remission. That's the sad part, I think. It's only $170,000. Institute update. Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, Michael's come in. We're going to build it. We've gone nowhere. What really is traumatic about the experience of raising money is, it's like dating, right? You kind of like go through all these dates and end up nowhere. And the number of people I've met with who want to give me $30,000 is endless, but then there's never a check coming at the other side. It's always the wrong time or whatever. So we will double team them now, and we'll have people who will step up. That's been a problem. I've been working with the development team. Oliver's been working with Polkadot and with RSDs for the blockchain conference, which is also funded through the institute. That's looking good, though, I think, right?
That's looking promising for sure. And big news actually when it comes to blockchain conference is that Tether, William Cogley, which is one of the co-founder of Tether, contacted us and is going to speak at the conference.
Cool. That's awesome.
Big actually, and who knows, maybe they become a sponsor.
I did want to talk to you about that. So one of my former students is the finance minister of Trinidad and Tobago. He has an innovation group that's part of the Ministry of Innovation in Trinidad. They were going to come and do a fintech workshop for people interested in fintech in Trinidad and Tobago. Evidently something around the security of the finance minister, which I don't know. I think it's kind of, I don't know if I believe it. I got this email about, we're worried about his security detail, something. I don't know why that is. He came in an Uber to my office earlier in the year. It wasn't exactly like Trump with the monster truck or whatever he's got. But I did think maybe we could, he wants it in May now, and I was thinking, well, maybe we could align it with our conference, and then maybe some people will stay on for the second day. So if we went FinTech conference, first day of your conference, and then have some carryover, that would be pretty good.
So who is this?
He's this, I think they call him like the Secretary of Innovation for Trinidad and Tobago. He works for the finance minister of Trinidad, who works for the prime minister.
It needs to be a pre-conference, but the only problem I have, like, for keynote speakers now, so it's like at least one keynote.
It would be a pre-conference. Yeah. I was thinking if people attended the conference and wanted to stay on for our conference, they're here, right?
All right.
That was. It's going to give us $30,000 for it.
Very soon.
Yeah. So we talked to Blanca. All right, so that's that. Promotional events, student engagement. This semester seems to be vanishing rather rapidly. When we get back from spring break, it's like almost the end of the semester. But it would be nice to try and have some kind of engagement with the students. I don't know what we should do, whether we could. We used to have pizza and fireside chats when we used to have the faculty lounge, invite people in and then have pizzas for breakfast or whatever it was. Do you remember that?
And at store too.
Yeah,
and at
store. So it would be nice to have an event or something. If you have a speaker that the students would kind of resonate with, someone, I heard that the guy who's talking about shoes was pretty good last week.
Oh, they love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but he's a shoe.
No, I know, he's not for us. But
No, he's a master. No, I was actually complimenting him. Yeah. He has not survive so much that company and would have they have transformed in case master. No, what's yeah, what with W is what's something.
My friend was in there. She said it was the best talk she'd ever been to. He could sell shoes to anybody. The Al Bundy of the shoe world.
We could try to bring down John Cuneo if you guys are ready to launch the lab or something.
Yeah,
he's an AI evangelist, that system.
Touch base with people. Michael and I are going to kick off the AI Institute LinkedIn page, which is sort of dormant forever. And I don't know if maybe we'll try and have an end of year soiree again or something. Because that would be fun to have before graduation. Like we had the string quartet last time.
That was great. That was great.
So maybe we could do something, bring everybody together because we're a big group now, and it would be nice to see everyone before everybody vanished for the summer. On the whole, I think that we've had on our standards it's been a quiet year, but on other standards it's been amazing. We've had 2 people up for promotion. We've had fantastic speakers. We've had fantastic papers. Alex has done his VBA. I know other people are on track. There's sort of a vibrance about the department. I think we've sort of reached a great place. We sort of I feel like we're taking a breath before we kind of go to the next level. The dean is now part of our department. Angelica came. I mean, it's been quite a ride. I mean, we've only been doing this for 8 years, right? 10. So, 37.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be great. I think, fall looks great. I think, if we can it depends on the university. If we can get into hiring mode again, that's going to be interesting. But we all have to work at the undergraduate level to get people into the major and to make sure that they're excited about technology. Right? We have to continue that pipeline, and I know you guys in 150 do a great job. They're not all going to analytics anymore.
I think we stopped it.
Analytics has gone into the plateau of productivity, right? It's not like.
I can't explain to you how many times I have a student say, "Professor, I'm so sorry. After your class, I joined the analytics." I'm like,
I think this is a great point. I just talked to someone. I think we probably see a similar trend. I talked to someone at Boston University. Their business school, their dean just gave a report. The graduate enrollment, applicants, any enrollment is down 44% year over year. I'm not sure about ours, but I talked to Hari and he's very pessimistic to say the very least. So I think our undergraduate education is very, very important, particularly given our price point, right? So I think given the transition, Paul keeps talking about this RCM model. Basically, I think the sort of shared revenue will be based on the student credit hours. It's important to sort of bring more students to the undergraduate BT majors or maybe AI majors in the future. So I think so we can survive, right? Because the graduate education, I don't know, like it's not doing well across the U.S. Not sure about other countries, but it's down significantly.
Yeah, it's down significantly. And while people lobby me to have more and more online classes to teach online and things, we have to remain in the classroom and give them the value add that the in-person teaching gives, and bring to bear our, I would say, wisdom in the classroom, because it's not necessarily just the PowerPoints, right? It's who do we know, how do we get them jobs, how do we put them into our major, how do we group them into technology leaders. You do a great job in 150, 210. I mean, I get stories about you guys like years later, like, oh, I had Jerry or I had Chris and whatever, and it's like, didn't think I'd really like spreadsheets and I'm going to IBM to be, or whatever. It's like, oh my God, So it is a long journey, and I'm teaching at 210 right now, and I talk to the students, I'm in finance. What are you going to do with finance? Oh, I don't know. Which bit? Oh, I don't know anything about finance. Just I thought I'd do finance. I'm like, well, okay, let me try and convert you. So I do try and bring in students. We could tie into our executive in residence still. So we still have Carlos, who went to gave a talk for you yesterday. We still have Walter. We have Randy and Jorge came, and he's on board as IBM Cloud for the Americas, head of IBM Cloud for the Americas. And each have little events, so if you haven't met them, we can all meet them. That would be good. But yeah.
The other day I teach near where the media school is. They have a little patio in there.
Oh,
A little bit of the style.
with the
Yeah.
statues.
And they had 8 tables. Actually, they had 9 tables to visit. And every table was a different channel or radio station in town. It was amazing. That thing was like this, but then in other words, it was kind of think of it, not an interview, but think of it, what do you guys do? What are the type of jobs? What are the kind of things? I mean, I went like, oh my God, we possibly do that. You know, that kind of thing with the amount of tech companies coming into Miami. Just to open minds.
Yeah, we need
To at a higher level than just, and I'm not saying that, I remember when I went to college many months ago, I got into IBM because at lunchtime I just happened to walk around one of the tables.
It takes
That's how I got to IBM.
it takes people taking these things on. I can't literally do everything.
Right.
So people with TOEFL or I'm happy to help, like and with names, but the whole and we could organize that with Evelyn and maybe
But you just said resident, so you had an IBM person. You have Randy still works for a consulting company, right? In a way, he's a coach. He's a personal coach, right? But has contacts somewhere there.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are from what? Do you know what I'm saying? Is extend that in residence.
Right, but somebody has to oversee that project. So we're always looking for volunteers to take these things on. Because I literally can't do everything, and that's why I'm happy Michael's coming onto the lab, and Alex is going to step up to that process. As Kevin points out, the undergraduate is incredibly important to the school. The graduate, they all talk about the graduate because we keep the revenue, but to be honest, if you see the revenue numbers across the graduate, it's pretty sad. Like they cancelled the MSF, they cancelled the MS in taxation, they cancelled the professional masters in taxation. The real estate doesn't take. There's no PMBA. They're relaunching that. The numbers are really thin. So the undergraduate is where the bread and butter is because the school keeps the money, or at least a percentage of it. So we have to continue that. And remember, we only had 4 students, and then we built up to this. We can't let it go again, right? We've got to try and keep.
Robert, do you have an idea how many VT undergrad majors we have? Like
360.
360.
So yeah, I mean that's why I keep on asking for more people. Like Priscilla will call me up on August the 5th and go, "Can I get 3 more sections of 210?" I'm like, I have waiting lists. Like that's why Nina's teaching to 423, but I had a waiting list of 45 students. I had about to put another 45 into Nina's classes, or Wendy stepped up to take class up in as well. So I had nearly 80 waiting lists for 210. I think about 200 waiting lists for 150. The waiting lists are massive. I mean, I can give people overloads if they want to come and teach undergraduates. I know the research faculty are hesitant to do that, but once they make full professor, then they won't have any choice. So please help me at the undergraduate level. I'm drowning in students and not enough faculty.
It was also good that hackathon at Kennedy.
Oh, did you go?
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I realized that
Did Alex go? I didn't know.
I didn't see him there. Me wasn't there. I was in the segment in the other section. That was something we may want to partner with them or create our own. That was quite a lot of energy. 77 teams in a 1 month.
Wow.
77 teams, 6 tracks. They got $3,000 a track. This guys encouraged a lot of people that went into it. So I thought that maybe something like that. It seems very close to what we do.
That's crazy.
So it's like,
I didn't know that many would turn up.
I said
marketing my AI courses on the own ones.
Wow.
my cloud course PT at IT back.
Some business students won.
That's
They
crazy.
So,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
So at least one of them. So it was high energy before it.
Yeah.
They worked all night. They worked high energy stuff. But
Wow.
that could be also good. They also reached out to the community too.
But we should put them on our LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Did you take some pictures?
They did. They got it from Metro
Oh,
Fund.
that's
I think I have a link.
We need to do more about promoting the department.
Yeah.
I'm going to get more T-shirts again, like we did back in the day. Hats and accounting was giving out sweatshirts like last year, hoodies and stuff. So okay, I'll have to have a committee for a swag.
Yeah, there were external people. That's right. You said you had the table. There were other external people. Kevin and I was there. I was on the same judging committee. It was a really good event, external and internal. Cool.
It was a community event.
Yeah.
Oh, great, good stuff. Okay, gang. Don't think I have any other news. Anybody want to raise anything? Kevin, Nina, Sarah, did you want to say anything about school council? Or?
Yeah, we had school council today, and I don't know if you know that there's a computer advisory committee, and I'm a member of that committee where we work with IT on advising them, the academics from each school. And there was in learning platforms, they were considering they had to either upgrade to Blackboard Ultra or Canvas. And we voted as a committee to have Canvas. And it's gone to the Faculty Senate, and they also approved it. So next year we'll have Canvas instead of Blackboard. So that team will be getting more support, so we'll be converting. And anyways, we would have had to convert from regular Blackboard to Ultra. That's a learning curve, so might as well go to Canvas. And Canvas, if you looked at the basically market share, Canvas is going straight up at about 80% versus Blackboard is going down, and all of the top schools, the majority of them are, and our peers are using Canvas. So just so you know that we're going to Canvas.
In the fall?
I think they're going to start doing it in the fall. It'll be phased in. Already some faculty have already volunteered. I'm on also a committee. They're going to be doing, looking at that, where they'll be doing that, and then they are training their staff, and they're going to bring on more staff in the learning platforms to get all faculty to move over.
That's going to be horrendous.
What?
The Blackboard materials will still be retained?
Yeah, they'll be retained, and then there's also that you'll be converting they'll be converting your Blackboard materials to Canvas.
Yeah. So
How long do they go?
we went through this
Pardon?
years ago.
Pardon?
We went through this a few years ago at ASU.
Yeah.
It was a big challenge.
Yeah, it goes through it.
There's a lot of resistance.
Yeah, sure. Well, I was telling them in the beginning, I know my faculty, it's basically, if it works, I don't want to use another program. It works for me and I'll continue. But their part was they have to, based on their contract, they would have had to upgrade to Ultra. So it was the question of going to Ultra versus Canvas. And Canvas is basically easier to use, and they're doing more. They also have more of the market share. So when you think about it, I don't even know what the viability of Blackboard will be, in a few years. So it's basically biting the bullet anyways. If it were up to me, I'd stay with what I have, right? Because it basically, I don't have to waste my time on another system. But I just wanted to let you know that was approved, and that was the reason our committee decided on Canvas, is that if you had to do one versus the other, you might as well go with the more modern.
Canvas is based on open source, right?
No, it's not open source, so it's not like Moodle or anything. So it is not based on that. I think Kevin, in terms of the cost, I think they're equivalent. And you think about the costs also of just conversions of anything. So I think it was more the idea they had to go to one versus the other, and they kind of put it on our committee first, and then But I think there was a trend anyways, looking at our competitors, and it's basically what people are feeling comfortable. A lot of people, I don't know if anyone here has used Canvas before, but a lot of...
I think the question is that, we've all used Blackboard for 20 years, right?
Right. Well, so, some of us, yeah.
Historically, we've got years and years and years of courses on there.
Right.
That we dive into for material to pull.
Right. So that they have to make that available. But the whole idea, they would have had Ultra is the same thing. They were going to, the next version, they were going to move all to Ultra, because we even had a choice.
Ultra.
What?
We all use Ultra.
I don't. Yeah, so in the online MBA, they're already using Canvas. It's basically done, Robert. So that's...
No, I know.
Dr. Rushnick, the
Yeah.
students actually like Canvas better. I don't know
I've used Canvas, but there's so much material.
Yeah, well, it's basically, that's the process of information systems, right? Is that I hate to say what is the bitch, but it's basically upgrading the software and upgrading the data and training the end users. That's all in the process, yeah. So
I think one thing to remember is that in Blackboard you can copy, right? So once you switch to Canvas, you might want to, like faculty want to retain the materials. Otherwise, it's like you can't. It's not interoperable. So you cannot like copy from.
no, I think they're going to upgrade, and then there's some of your things, I don't know if it, even in Zoom, I don't know if you know that, Kevin, a lot of times in Zoom on the recordings, they limit how long they'll do Zoom, if you want to use another recording or something like that. So they moved it to Kaltura. Yeah, those are many of the issues, but
Deleted all of the archives on that automatically.
yeah. So that's it. So that you need to let them know what are those issues so they can take care of it. So that basically, and it's going to be, those same people that do Blackboard, they're going to have to get up to date on Canvas, and there's going to be the team. The one thing that we insisted on, that they're going to need to have in the budget more support, right? Because every faculty is going to ask the same thing. Not only do I want this course, but I want all my prior courses of those materials that I use to be upgraded. Yeah, and then getting used to it.
It's nothing yet. Okay, thank you for the happy ending there, Sarah.
Always happy to bring good news. And then we did talk about that 150. We did have a point for that 150 course. Alex brought that up, that he said that he worked with you on that 150 for that special section. Were you under the impression, Robert, that it would just be for them, or other students would be able to go into that class as well?
Well, we talked about it. It depends on how many students there are, but we said other students should go in there.
But because we, as the school council, put that as a note, that some people in the school council thought that it should be open. That
I said to him it should be open.
But that's what the school council told him, that it should be open, and they could be, I don't know why they needed to be a cohort to be in just their special class, but it would be open to, just 150 would be open to all those students.
That was the request from whoever is in charge of that program.
Yeah, so and the school council were questioning whether that should be a special section, and if it is, it should be open to more students, to the maximum of what it could be done, rather than just a special.
Then we have to allow that course. Yeah, it's okay. That's why we didn't create a 120. Yes, it's open to any student.
Yeah, so that was what we discussed. Those were the two important, the two new things that we discussed.
Okay, thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Great. All right, guys, have a great Friday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. See you guys. Bye-bye. Ciao. Feel free to contact me anytime. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
something
I
very
you said
positive.
Happy Friday. I said come on East West.